wanted to do something a little different today. Everybody always comments that I'm just sitting there in my old office.
Joe Morgan. Joe is truly my friend because he actually understood some of the struggles I went through as a small business owner because he has his own business, and he was like,
Whenever we do a video, and you know, I thought that maybe I could share one of the cars with you. I thought about how some of you might like to see or experience the cars that we work on. So today we have this beautiful 67 300 SE Cabriolet. And this car is special because it was in a museum for over 25 years. It's also special because it has air suspension and it has Mercedes M189 all aluminum inline six, which was a Gullwing engine that Mercedes refined and continued to use on the 300 SE, 300 SEL, 300 SE Coupe and Cabriolet, and eventually the 300 SE sedan, all the way up to 1967. And this is a model I'm really fond of. I myself own the 67 300 SEL sedan. So this car reminds me of what I often consider to be the stereotype of a Mercedes-Benz owner. Mercedes owners are not really like other people. They're certainly not like Porsche or BMW owners. They tend to be more intellectual. Often they're not extroverted. And I'm not talking about the guy that buys a car on Bring a Trailer like a 560 SL and enjoys it for a few years. I'm talking about the dyed-in-the-wool lifetime Mercedes owner. The guy who grew up riding in the back seat of an old Ponton or even a 123 or a 126, and who will probably die owning the same car or a similar car to what they first experienced as a child. This kind of owner is the kind of person that would want a proof that 2 + 2 = 4, or that it might be possible for them to refine their own fuel like biodiesel, or even that the notion of restoring a 50-year-old car is a process that they would rather suffer through than just going out and buying the pristine example, because they want to know that every aspect of that car has been repaired the correct way. And I would say for the most part, this is who I am too. I think I'm like that. I think that a lot of the people that I've connected with over the years who like these cars are also like that. I'm not saying there are no extroverted Mercedes owners, but by and large, the introverted, intellectual, more pensive type of person is the stereotypical Mercedes owner. The person who would prefer to read Tolstoy and spend their nights hanging out with their friends at the club. And I think that we obviously go through changes throughout our lives, but there are people who should own these cars that have never actually experienced them or experienced them later on in life. Like my friend Joe Morgan, for example, who, I mentioned Joe because Joe has always been fairly open about sharing his social media experience with his 1971 280 SE. I think that Joe has been a great example of a person who was born a Mercedes owner and didn't know that until he was almost, 65 years old. And one of the reasons that I enjoy so much, I think, meeting these other people who are dyed-in-the-wool Mercedes owners is because, sure, each of them are unique. They have unique experiences, but they have some personality traits. Notably, their love of perfection, their love of qualified and exhaustive engineering, their appreciation for things that work properly instead of things that are modified to work. well enough or good enough. I think all of these traits that make up the dyed-in-the-wool Mercedes owner are part of what makes this so interesting. Because as a person who works on these cars, I enjoy interacting or associating with people of a similar mindset. Now, how would one describe how would one describe the atypical Mercedes owner? Let's imagine, I know some people that like Mercedes that don't fit this paradigm. I always wonder, what is an extroverted Mercedes owner like? You know, as a person who's more introverted, I become extroverted when I talk about things that I enjoy, like these cars. But by and large, I would say I'm a pretty introverted person. And being an introvert is tricky because you get excited about some things, but other things you just couldn't be bothered with. So I ask myself, what's an extroverted Mercedes owner like? And to be honest with you, it's hard for me to relate. I would say that if you're like an alpha male guy who's into classic Mercedes, actually into them, you're probably into AMG cars, or you own a 300 SEL 6.3 or a 500E because you really think it's a Porsche. I'm just kidding, but there are people who are probably more masculine than I am, or more into their masculinity than I am, that own these things. Now, there are women who like Mercedes too, and I think that the woman who's a Mercedes owner is probably more of an extrovert than a man who owns a Mercedes. I'm not saying that they're all like that, but I think that a lot of the women that I've worked with who own Mercedes are pleasant in a way where their personalities are often extremely strong, well-rounded, usually highly intelligent, extremely refined. You won't find, you wouldn't find somebody like a bad baby, aka a Danielle Bregoli, who appreciates a classic Mercedes. The person who would appreciate a classic Mercedes is more like, I would say, a Condoleezza Rice or an Ayn Rand type. Maybe a Virginia Woolf if she was alive today. But the point is that there's an intellectual itch that these people have that the cars seem to scratch. And I think that I'm that way a little bit too. I'd say that an area where I've always differed from a lot of Mercedes owners was the fact that most of them seem to be presentable and well dressed. And I've always kind of struggled with presentation. I find that anything more than a pair of shorts and a t-shirt is vanity. And it's always been hard for me to really try to look refined. I used to enjoy it when I was in my 20s and my main car was a 280 SE 4.5. Now that my main car is a W123, I find it extremely hard to be the kind of person that enjoys showing off his exterior details. I find myself gravitating more toward things that are diamonds in the rough. Often why, you know, the thing that this boils down to is why social gatherings of Mercedes owners tend to be less of a peak event than, say, a social gathering of Porsche owners or BMW owners. You know, there's a huge car club in this country called the Porsche Owners Club of America. And this club is so pervasive that everybody who owns a Porsche is in it. Not some of the people, most of the people who own a Porsche are PCA members. Meanwhile, even though there are a dearth of older Mercedes and gazillions of modern Mercedes, the people who are really tried and true Mercedes owners are often not Mercedes Club members. I often wonder why this is, and I think it's because the Mercedes owner is a solitary creature. They're not like Porsche owners who roam in packs, hunting for more Porsche owners to bring into their group, feasting often on large pieces of red meat. The Mercedes owner is more like, I would say, if they'd be more like a giraffe or an elephant, a graceful herbivore, or almost in a way maybe another solid. Well, elephants tend to be less solitary. They're more, there are groups of elephants, maybe in a way like a hippopotamus. I think hippos socialize too. I think that I'm struggling to find the words to describe the fact that Mercedes owners are just not outgoing in groups. A Mercedes owner is more likely to bond with an individual that shares their love of the cars rather than a group of people that shares their love of the cars. And a Mercedes owner is more likely to find satisfaction in the car itself rather than the event or the group of people. Because the car, or these cars, at least the vintage Mercedes that I'm drawn to, in and of themselves tend to represent a need in our hierarchy of needs. And at the top of the hierarchy of needs isn't the need for socialization, but rather the need for the car to work right. The need for the car to be fully functional. The need to feel like the engineers who designed the car are fully respected for the work that they did. I think the person who owned this W112 300 SE new, who was from what I understand, a very well-to-do woman from California's Central Coast, probably never attended a Mercedes-Benz Club of America event. And if she did, it was probably because she just wanted a place to go enjoy her car. Maybe with another person or a small group of people who appreciated what she has. Because at the end of the day, the people who make you feel most understood about the things you love are the ones who share your love for that thing or that activity. And, you know, this has always been my case for the Mercedes-Benz Club existing, but I think at the end of the day, Mercedes owners are always going to love their cars. They're just not going to love socializing. I used to like socializing more when I was in my early 20s, but as I grew more inwardly focused on the cars, I just wanted to be around the cars and not necessarily the people. Some of the people are new to this. I've had to explain the car to them. And I realize that my desire to explain the car to them is born out of my desire to get them to love the exquisite engineering of these cars. And it's not for everyone. That's okay. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this scenic drive with this 300 SE. I think next week we're going to try to do another one of these if we're able to successfully build and edit this video out. So please let me know if you like the new format. And in the meantime, I'd also like to thank Thomas for being receptive to this tricky, actually quite difficult idea of capturing the driving experience. Maybe capturing the cognitive experience of driving one of these cars.
Always do.
We'll see you. Thanks, Thomas. We'll see you guys in the next video. And if you haven't liked and subscribed, please do so to encourage us to produce more of this content. Sayonara.